Today we have a courageous story, Paula Tadzik, who is a business integrator. She works with small businesses to get past the 3-year mark in their business to help them have a business that continues to grow and develop as they choose, living and working life as they want to live it. Hello, you're listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. This podcast is for high-achieving, courageous women who want growth and the know-how to scale their business online. Running a business is a journey and a process. The more we learn in action, the more we succeed. If you're a woman in business, this is the podcast for you. Be in the 5% of businesses that make it. Let's get bold and create the life we desire. I'm bringing my passion to you through advice, coaching, inspiration, and support to help you create and design the life and business you want to live. I am a Dubsado expert, CPD certified in social media platforms, and a lover of admin systems and processes. I am an accredited ICF coach, specialising in trauma and narcissism. My own coaching journey has supported my growth immensely, and I want to share those highlights with you to inspire and give you courage. Let's get intentional with our goals and make them happen. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to the Courageous Goals podcast today. So today we have a story, a guest, Paula Tadzik, who is a business integrator, joining us, sharing all about her courageous story in being a business owner. Paula, would you like to introduce yourself, and then we can take it from there and find out about your journey?
Perfect. Thank you, Leanne. I'm really excited actually to do this with you, so thank you. So I'm a business integrator, and when I learned what an integrator was, I realized that businesses need two sides. So there's the visionary, there's the person with all of the great ideas, million-dollar ideas, and then you need the other side of that, which is the other side of the flip coin, which is a integrator. So the visionary has all of the great ideas, and the integrator basically puts all of their ideas into practice, builds it, and pushes it over the line to achieve their goals almost. And when I realized I was a really strong integrator, it just enabled me to, find those visionaries and work with them. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years.
So how did you come up with this business idea and your business name? It strikes me, it's amazing. Magic Tadzik.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, do you know what? Not too many people before I called my business Magic Tadzik actually knew how to pronounce my surname.
Okay.
So therefore, actually, by having a business name, Magic Tadzik, actually, first of all, now they know how to pronounce it. But, one of my a few years ago, a friend said to me, oh, Paula, could you just, I was always asked to could I just help look over a CV, or could I just do this, or I've got a problem with this, could you just help me? And one of the friends actually just turned around and she went, you're Magic Tadzik. And I was just like, I'll have that. Thank you very much.
I'm trademarking that.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't until I started running my business, I thought, oh, I need a business name. I'm going to have Magic Tadzik. Why not?
How brilliantly perfect.
Well, you have to make use of what you've got, don't you? So, and in terms of trademarking, I have to say there aren't too many Magic Tadziks out there.
Have you looked into this?
I'm in the middle of doing my trademark currently. I'm about 3 weeks away from having it finalised. So I'm really excited. Yeah.
That is so good. Okay, so let's describe what you do. What's your business story?
So what I do, my business is kind of split into three, because I believe that every business should have a couple of different legs to their business, because at certain points in the year, one part of your business is always going to be a little bit quieter than others. And it is something I teach as well. And I said that if you can have at least 3 legs, like a good tripod, okay, your business can then stand fully at any time of the year. So I have a membership, which I help out with visionaries coming into the membership. I have integrators as well, but mainly visionaries, where they come in and they learn things from me. So techie sessions, hot seat sessions, because I'm a trained life coach as well. So I don't only teach what they need to know, I also give them the belief that they actually can learn it as well. So that's the membership side. I've then also got online masterclasses, which is the, me literally just sharing with people what they need to do. So it's click and copy almost, training classes. And then I do one-to-one work with clients where I'll help them get their businesses up online, help them to run a course or facilitate Facebook ads. And just make sure that each part of my business is covered, but it's all around the same, just working with those, those visionaries, to give them the belief that they can do it. Well, teach them how to do it and then give them the belief that they can do it. So
Fascinating. I love the analogy you used with the tripod. How cool is that?
Well, thanks.
It's really good.
I do try. So
really good to look at it, have the three different perspectives of your business. And it just sounds really good to look at it in that way. I've never really thought about it in that way.
Yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, we all have quiet points in our business. So I know that during August, actually, even, I call August the hardest month of the year. And that's because you'll have some business owners, which are like myself, we're mummies, we have the school children off for 6-7 weeks. And August is one of the only times actually where we kind of have to, and I know that you do a lot of this, the time blocking, we have to really look at how we utilize our time in August. But other business owners, actually, they need to probably be looking at, if they don't have children, they should also be kind of looking at the same and working in those times when their clients are working and having that middle part of the day off almost. So, and I do think that, looking at it and, teaching people, just the right way to look at their business, is, and it should be done that way. It's something I love to teach. So making sure that everybody's kind of got what they need. So you can't be killing yourself at the end of the day. I don't think it's right.
No. I agree with you. August is also very quiet for me too. Everyone kind of goes quiet in their business. They're taking the time out to spend in the sunshine. So it just dies down.
It does, but we still have work to do, don't we? So, and I found it actually. I've got a couple of clients that were, they didn't have children, and I said, listen, if you're able to do like early mornings or late nights or on weekends, and they're like, but I'm, my calendar doesn't change. And I was like, you could take on many more clients that have got their children at home if you was able to just take those 6 hours off in the day and do early mornings or late nights, and or a couple of weekend calls. Your August could also be a little bit easier on you as well. So
definitely. I don't know if you recall or not, but that's why I ended up launching my podcast when I did, because I launched it on the 1st of August and I actually only got it ready in like 2 weeks prior.
Oh wow.
I flew into it. I was like, I know I've got this time and I know I could probably do it if I plan it right. So I went for it. I did plan it quite well, because the day it launched I was on holiday and I was like, how cool is this? It's all just scheduled, doing its thing while I'm on holiday. It was really good.
It's a good art of a good business person, actually, and I'm going to say person, not women, that that they can take these parts of their business and just make it work even when they're not working. So
okay, so tell us what motivates you in your business.
It's seeing, first of all, for me, I mean, I've never been a people pleaser ever, but I love to help other people. So and I love to see that glimmer of their eyes, that aha moment, and just knowing that I've kind of given them that tiny bit of help, to kind of take them that extra 1 degree. Because we all know actually that if you just shift your path even the slightest way towards where you're going, even with that tiniest bit of help, it makes all the difference. So, and I just love to see that. I love to see when, that glimmer in there, that moment when you just kind of go, oh, I get it now. If I can give that to any of my clients or anybody in the membership, then I really feel like I've done my job that day. So it doesn't take a lot. I'm very easy to please, actually.
So not a people pleaser, but easy to please.
Exactly. Because it's not about the big things for me, because a lot of people don't necessarily, as I see, need the big things. They just need that tiny little bit of help in terms of course correction. So, and they don't always know what that course correction is.
And having someone there by your side who kind of can give you that quick answer that you've been thinking about or mulling over for ages. That's a huge support, isn't it? Especially in business.
Yes, exactly.
Every single hat, can you? There's so many parts to running a business.
There is. So true.
Good. Okay, so who or what has supported you the most?
Oh, I have to say, my number one supporter, and the reason I actually have a business, is my husband. He's always been a huge supporter of me as a person anyway. And when I was made redundant, I just said, listen, I don't know why, but I need to invest my tiny pittance of redundancy money, long story, into Tech Pixies. And he's just like, I have no idea why you want to spend that kind of money on a training course, but okay, fine. I couldn't tell him why at the time, but he just supported me, so knowing at this point I didn't have a job and I was just about to spend quite a bit of money on, learning from Tech Pixies what I could. He just said yes, okay. And when I kind of explained to him what I could do with, with learning from this training and how I kind of felt going all the way through, he's just constantly supported me and propped me up. And even when I've had wobbles, he's been there to kind of hold my hand and go, no, it's fine, you've got it, because you already knew what you wanted to do, Paula, you're fine. And then the minute I got up and running, it felt a little bit easier. And then kind of Carol, who I met through Tech Pixies, we kind of merged on the very first Zoom call we had actually with Tech Pixies. We kind of ended up in the same Zoom room. How, I never know. But when you meet somebody and you just click.
Yeah.
And Carol is a complete visionary. She is such a strong visionary. And she just said to me on that very first Zoom call when we met, she said, one day when I can afford you, we're going to work together. God's honest truth. That's how it went. And we both did Josh and Jill's course creator course in March of 2020.
Yeah.
And I just we came out the end of it and I went, I don't want to launch a course. That definitely wasn't for me, but it was fun to hang out with you for a week during the course. She went, I'm launching a course and I need you on my team. Would you help me launch mine? So I kind of stopped what I was doing at that point, and I kind of went to help her launch her course. And it was a lot of hard work, but we did a 5-figure launch. And I was just like, oh my God, that is it. This is where I can help. And I have to say that over 2 years now, we've known each other and we're still working together. And she said that, we're planning on moving next year. She said, even when you move, you can't desert me. She's my number one biggest fan in my business,
Yeah.
And she's just amazing to have on my team, really. So,
yeah, that's brilliant. So not only did you get this course then out of Tech Pixies, you've made this new friend and business friend and what am I trying to say?
Well, the collaboration of it all, magic. That's what it is. It's magic.
Yeah, I love it when that happens. That happened recently last year, and it was very similar.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I just think you just know who these people are when they walk into your life, okay? And it's unbelievable how you just click and it's like this was meant to be, this was the reason. Like I said, when I invested all that money with Tech Pixies all that time ago, I didn't know why, but I just knew I had to do it.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't for Tech Pixies. I think it was to meet Carol. So
it could be one of those serendipitous moments.
Yeah, and I have a lot of those. I'm a firm believer of that. So yeah, I don't believe that anybody's lucky. I think that we create our own luck.
Yeah.
So so it was definitely meant to be. So yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. So what's unique about what you do and your business? What's the thing that you would say that stands out the most?
So you see, I think that there's two parts to this. Okay, so I think that, first of all, I believe, and what I teach actually is that everybody's USP, what is unique about them for their business is them. Because nobody now has a new or original idea, and you are always doing something, and somebody else that's always doing the same as you. But the reason that people will come to you is because of you. It's your life experiences, how you do things. It's the way that you'll look at something completely different, and how you approach something. And I do believe that my USP is me because of who I am and what I've gone through and what I do and how I teach it and what I can give to other people. But on the flip side of that, my business kind of sits, I would say, in the happy medium between, once I finished Tech Pixies, I knew kind of what I wanted to do and where I was at, but I was looking for that next step. I kind of felt like I'd learned all the basics and I was ready for the next step in terms of what do I do. And I couldn't find anything. The next thing I had was like Jeff Walker or Amy Porterfield, but I wasn't ready to 8-figure my business. I wasn't ready to 6-figure my business. I was like, I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
It was a bit scary and I don't have $2,000 to invest. I was looking for that next step, and what I found actually was I didn't know anybody else that was providing that next step, that get me ready for that Amy Porterfield, get me ready for that Jeff Walker, get me ready to take on those big courses so then I can accelerate my business to those 6, 7, 8-figure businesses. And that's actually what I made my business in between. I've kind of slotted my business in the middle as the next step to hold your hand, to kind of put you on that trajectory almost, kind of go, okay, once you've got this, you're going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
So
That's really special, recognizing that some people dive in too soon, and some people don't dive in at all. So recognizing that you weren't ready to take that big leap and you're kind of in between. That's really, really powerful.
Yeah, I see so many people coming off the back of these big courses that go, okay, so I know a few people that have done the Amy Porterfield training, but they've not even had an email service provider set up in order to start building that list.
Yeah.
And a lot of kind of what's missing is the whole kind of learning the basics and the how-to of setting up the business and the emails and where do I have it, and answering all of the very basic questions to kind of be ready to take those big steps. So yeah, if I could help anybody actually before they then go and stratify their business, please go and build a massive business, please. But if you need help feeling that you're not quite ready, then that's where I kind of feel like I can help people.
Yeah, so start with you and then go for it.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I'm a tiny fraction of the cost.
Yeah,
they need to have all these things implemented, and that's the reason I created the masterclasses. A tiny fraction of the cost implemented, done and ready to kind of go, okay, I'm ready to take that next step now because everything's set up ready. I can now implement that into my business. So yeah.
That's brilliant. Love it. So what are the secrets to your success?
So I always knew that, I mean, I've wanted to set up a business for years, and I did a couple of years ago I say, but you know how quickly time flies. So when I was about 23 or 24, I did set up a business, but I realized that what I did when I set up the business then was I was listening to everybody else in terms of what I should be doing. And I listened to people that had my best interests at heart, but not really. So it was like, oh, Paula, you're killing yourself. It's not worth to do this and a full-time job, just go and do your job, And I realized that actually I couldn't be that person. So when I kind of got to this part here, actually, the secrets of my success now is that I now run my business, how I want it. And yes, I'll take other people's input on and I'll listen to them. But now I don't really stop at their thoughts. I continue, because I know that when you get stopped, and people do want to wish you well, but the best kind of advice, you can have, the worst kind of advice you can have from anybody is free advice. Let me just give you some free advice, Paula. No, thank you.
I'd rather not sit on that advice for hours.
Exactly. But I'm now going to filter this to not accepting everybody's opinions about what I should be doing in my life. And because I haven't done that now, I put my family first. My family is now the first thing that comes, and then it's my business. I wanted to be that mum that could have a job and work from home and look after her children and do the school run. Because I can tell you that for the 20 previous years to me setting up this business, I wasn't that mum.
Yeah.
And that's hard. That's really hard. But nobody makes it easy. Nobody actually puts that job advert out going, do you know what? I'll give you that nice part-time job so you can work when your kids are at school. Would you like it? And by the way, you can have the holidays off and choose your own hours. It does.
Would be nice.
And I never found it. So if anybody else has got that job, okay, please let me know. But now
with the £1 million salary to go with it.
Exactly. Yeah, being a parent, it's the worst job description ever. And no pay. But I mean, I get to have everything I want from a business. I get to do it in the way I want it. I get to work with who I like, and I feel successful every day now because of what I do. I now don't need to feel any other way.
Yeah.
But it's because that I didn't listen to those naysayers in the very beginning days like I did when I was a few years ago, when I set up my other business.
Yeah.
And I just wish to myself that I'd listened to myself then. So if anybody's listening, filter out the free advice. You don't need it.
It's so refreshing to hear you say that, because I think so many of us get stuck in comparing ourselves online, especially thinking we need to do this, be here, be there, be everywhere. And yes, obviously you need to have visibility so people can see and hear what you do, but you've still got to do it in a way that works for you, especially so you don't burn out.
Correct.
Yeah, it's so refreshing to hear you say you're running things how you want to do it.
Yeah, because it also feeds into my USP of who I am.
Yes, yeah.
I would hate for somebody to look at me online, and then when they start working with me, I'm a completely different person. No, I don't want to swear on your podcast, but I'm a completely no go, okay? And I will do things my way, and you either love me or you hate me. If you love me, great, it's going to work. If you don't like me, then that's fine. There is going to be somebody else out there for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember, Leanne, or if you was ever employed in a job, but having to bend over backwards and fit into somebody else's role, of that person they thought you should be, and then being told off, or reprimanded for just being you.
Yeah,
It's the worst feeling in the world. No.
Yeah, I don't. If I can choose forever, I will never go back to being employed.
I said the same thing. Yeah, exactly the same thing.
Not my idea of fun.
No, the stress it causes on you as well. Gosh.
Yeah.
So not worth it.
So
not worth it.
Let's talk about what's coming up next. What might you like to share with people?
Oh, so I've now just, I've been working on this quite hard. I released my masterclass courses. So these are, and I did them as live trainings to start with, to kind of get lots of feedback on the beta. And so what I've done actually is I've now managed to create training masterclasses. So I've got an email marketing version, the Facebook learning, just all about Facebook, and then just posting on social media just generally.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 masterclasses actually, which are literally videos. They're like 3 to 5 minute videos of me going like this, click this button, click here, and this is how you do it. And it's kind of like a nice, easy walkthrough of how to do all of these things that you're going to need in your business for the next step. And I'm really grateful because I've nearly completed now having all 3 completely evergreen online. And what I realized when I ran these sessions live earlier on in the year, and I ran them twice live, is I realized that people would go through these training videos, but they still had questions. And I thought, gosh, if I ever take them as an evergreen model completely, what I'm going to end up with is actually a lot of people with questions at the end and then not actually implementing this. And I thought, I can't do that. So I've also set up the evergreen models where, depending on what masterclass you take, you've also got access to tap into live Q&As. And, depending on which one it is, you've either got 3, 2 or 1 session that you can come and join and come and get your questions answered by me. And then you pick whenever you want that call to be. Brilliant. So, and I just thought and if anybody's thinking about running a course, okay, in order to be able to not pay tax outside of the UK on any of your evergreen courses, they must have a live element. So actually now none of mine are taxable.
Brilliant.
There you go, you see. You have to know all these things.
Every angle.
Well, I've done a lot of training actually. So taking I did a lot of legal training for what small businesses need. So I've then put that into the courses as well. And I just share everything that I know. I've just absorbed all of this and literally put in bite-sized chunks into all of these masterclasses. So it's important. All of these small things that nobody tells you.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Definitely. I might have to speak to you about that then, because I am wanting to create a course soon.
No worries.
Okay. So are these all live, these evergreen masterclasses, or will they be ready soon? So how can people find out about them?
So they're on my website, which is courses.magictagic.com.
Okay.
And the email and the Facebook are live, ready to go. The organic social media is on pre-order because I just want it to be ready before I open the doors.
Yeah.
And what I mean by ready is that I just need to make the workbook for it. So I have to make a workbook for all of these. So actually, as you're working through, you can go and make that, go and scribble notes almost. So, and yeah, it's really exciting. So they're nearly there, but their other 2 are open. Like I said, you can pre-order the 3rd one, but by end of November, let's say end of the year, all 3 will be open and then available to book. So, and like I said, because they're evergreen, they can be done in your own time. So yeah. Okay. Isn't it great? We can get it at 2 o'clock in the morning, and by 7 o'clock, you'll know so much about email marketing.
Brilliant, love it. Okay, so one last question for other courageous people or women starting out or growing a business. What would be the top tip you would give them?
Do you, don't. Be you is probably, the words, don't let anybody else interfere in your vision. Listen to people, filter out what you don't need. But if your vision is strong enough for what you want to achieve, do it. Because nobody is going to be able to see what you can see. no matter how much they're going to try. So just, do what you do best. Work with those people that are going to help you. Be in those groups, of people that are only moving forward. Like they say, you're only as good as the 5 people you hang out with or something, Go and do you. Don't let anybody else interfere in that, because they don't see the magic that is in your thoughts, okay? And you could be impacting millions of people in less than a year's time, okay, with what you have. So don't let anybody stop you from achieving that.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
I think so.
Love it. Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to share?
I'm open to collaboration. I'm actually meeting now. I've met somebody last week, actually, and I'm meeting another person next week. I love collaborating with people. So if anybody wants to come and collaborate with me, just get in touch. I'm sure there's a way that we could do it, but I think that collaboration for businesses, especially and I don't like to call us a small business, because do you know what? There's no reason for me to be called a small business, okay? Small would mean that I'm inferior somehow. I'm not. I'm just a business. But I love collaborating. So if, come and get in touch.
Yeah, love it.
That's it.
So are you happy for me to drop all of your links in the show notes so people can get in touch, connect with you, whatever they would like to do?
Absolutely. Yeah. What fun would it be to share all of this and then say no? So.
I love how you're just so open and honest, and it's like, I'm Paula, here I am.
That's it. This is what you get, Yeah. I mean, and isn't that a breath of fresh air? On my website, actually, I mean, I put on my About Me page, I mean, Carol, when I first met her, actually called me the headmistress. She's like, oh my God, she said, you always tell me what to do. And now whenever we work together, she's like, yes, boss, yes, headmistress. And I said, but, when you pay somebody to help you in your business, okay, the last thing you want is them coming to you going, yes, it's fine, no problem. We can help you get that done.
Yeah.
If it can't be done, you just want something real, and I would rather be completely real in who I am, because that way then they also know that it's achievable one way or the other, yes or no. And if it's not, how can we kind of get past that block? So yeah, just being open and being real is, I think it's really important. I mean, I'd rather pay somebody that was going to be completely honest with me. That I pay them, I pay them loads.
Unlimited amount, just be honest.
And that's it, because there are so many people not honest, I think, when you're working with them online, because they think it's, they can't be held accountable for anything. But I think that, again, the words that you hear from people and how you feel in your business is going to have a huge impact to what you do.
Yeah.
So, and I think that honesty actually is the best thing.
Yeah, it's definitely. I always actually put that in my contracts, just to be open with communication at all times, because it's the best way forward. Yeah,
I love contracts. My contract states that if I'm going to work with you on a one-to-one basis, I don't promise anything. That's it. There is no promises. It actually says in black and white, I do not guarantee that you're going to increase your email list. I do not guarantee you're going to make any sales. I do not guarantee anything. You work with me and I teach you what I know. What you do with it is up to you.
Yeah, it all lies with you.
Well, it is, because at the end of the day, I think so many people go to somebody for help, but they really think that person is going to be a magic bullet for their business.
Yeah.
But actually the magic bullet is inside of you, not the other person that you're employing to help you.
Yeah, exactly. They're there to help, advise, support, whatever it is, but it's down to you at the end of the day to do whatever it is that you're trying to achieve.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
Paula, it has been magical having you on today's podcast. I love it.
Thank you. No, it's been great to actually have a chat with you. So, and I hope that it inspires somebody to just go out and do something, very real today.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And if nothing else, definitely head over and check out Paula and her membership, because I'm sure it's fantastic.
Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you so much for listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode and taken something of value for you. If you'd love more advice, coaching, inspiration and support, head on over to join many other courageous women in business in our free community group over on Facebook. We'd love to welcome you. You can also find free useful resources over on the website at leannebrown.com/resources. Right, that's all for this week. I look forward to sharing another episode with you next week.